Hey you guys, what is going on? Shaquan here from slfxtrading, and I am back testing tonight. As you guys can see, it is nighttime outside. It's 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time where I am, and I don't have anything to do. So I said, well, instead of looking at Netflix tonight, why not just come on here and back test for like an hour? So what I'm going to be doing is back testing pound JPY on the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame. You guys are kind of going to get a glimpse behind what it is that I'm doing on my price charts. Now, what I want to back test is price was in an uptrend, and I want to back test how did price go from an uptrend to a pullback back to trend continuation if price continues to trend upwards or if price reverses. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get straight into the back testing so this video is not long. This is my chart setup. So I am using tradingview.com and I am a premium member. So I have the highest package of TradingView. Now, one thing that I love about TradingView is how easy it is to use. It's very robust. It has a lot of features. And I honestly believe that it's easier to trade, demo, and live through TradingView than MetaTrader. I also think that the customizations are also easier on TradingView than MetaTrader. I honestly am not a fan of MetaTrader, you guys. I literally do trade live. Here I have an Owenda Live account. As you guys can see, if you look down here, it says Owenda Live. So I live trade through here. I just link my broker with Owenda, which is a partner broker with TradingView. But I'm not going to take any real trades on here. I'm just literally back testing my system. So let's talk about back testing for a quick second. If you are not a really good person who back test right now, like you're not efficient in it at all, I have a video that I'm going to share with you guys. So there'll be a video, a picture of how the card looks, or you can click on the card up above here, or the description will be down below. Because I want to help more traders back test. I want to help more traders get good at back testing. And I personally back test multiple times a week. And I back test with my group every single Wednesday. So that is very important to me. Some people lead busy lives. Maybe you have a busy life and maybe you don't have time to back test, but it's good to find a community who back test together. And that is one thing I love doing with my people, is back testing. Now, at the same time, back testing doesn't always mean you just back test a strategy. I like to break down my strategy when I back test. Now tonight, the main focus is on the trend. That is the main focus. So yes, I will be showing you guys how I execute a few trades. Yes, I will be showing you guys how I look at the charts. Yes, I will be showing you guys just a little peek into my mind, a little glimpse into my mind. But understand, back testing is personal. So where you may enter a trade as you see me back test, I may do it differently. Keep in mind that I am swing trading my setup. You may be a day trader, but the practices and the concept can still be the same. Also keep in mind that I am not a support or resistance trader. I don't typically necessarily use trend lines. I'm using supply and demand zones. So I am trading based on the specific buyers and sellers of the market. And you guys may hear me explain that just a little bit in the video. But without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead. Let's get into the back testing, okay? So the first thing that I notice when I come to my chart, and I always notice this, is the trend, okay? So that was one thing that I explained when I first got on here, okay? So I'm going to line up my chart. Now, the daily time frame is on the left-hand side. The 4-hour time frame is on the right-hand side. On TradingView, you can use multiple chart layouts. Like I can have up to 8 chart layouts, but I'm only using 2 because I'm only looking at 2 time frames. And I'm using bar replay, which means that I've erased candles, so I cannot see what's coming up unless I press a certain button. So this is almost like a feature where you can demo as if you're trading live. And I love bar replay for this. And I hope they get a little bit more robust with this, where if you're bar replaying, you can actually execute trades in bar replay. And you can follow it as if it was a live market. Man, and if TradingView gets that for premium or pro members, that would be awesome. So what I'm noticing here, and based on supply and demand, if you think about supply and demand says if there is high value, the value of price will go up and people will continue to buy, but people like to buy at discounts, okay? That's why pullbacks are necessary, because when price pulls back, you're buying at cheaper prices. And the supply is the currency, right? So buyers are buying currency. So supply, currency, demand, buyers. And then when price pulls back, the currency or the supply, the value is going down, and people are selling the currency. So supply currency, demand is down. So that's supply and demand, okay? Very simple put. And if that helped you understand supply and demand, you guys, give me an emoji down below in this video, okay? So that being said, I'm looking at price 150.437 and then price 147.40, and price has skyrocketed up, which is very great. And then when I look here on the 4-hour time frame, that's the same information, 150.437, 147.405, which is very great as well. So I can see that price is in an uptrend because price just went higher than 150.437. So what I'm going to do over here now, because I see this as one big move to the upside, and I see this rejection candle. To me, I look at specific candles to give me clues when the momentum of price is going to actually shift and pull back, right? Because price cannot keep going up forever, but we don't have evidence this price is ready to drop except this rejection candle, and we need more information on the 4-hour time frame. So let me show you guys what I mean. So what I am doing is I am going to start looking at my higher highs and my higher lows on the 4-hour because they're displaying the same information. I want you guys to keep in mind that the 4-hour is what makes up the daily time frame. So without the 4-hour, without the 1 hour, without the 15-minute, 5-minute, 1 minute, there is no daily, okay? So you need price to move first. So I'm going to be more so focused on my 4-hour than my daily, okay? So I'm using what's called price notes tools here, where I'm only putting these on my highs and my lows of the wicks so I can keep up with price action as price moves. So my 4-hour is green because I want to know where things come from on my time frames. So I'm just working at my highs and my lows. I just need the important exchange rates. I don't really focus on every single fluctuation of price because every fluctuation is not important. What's important is the direction that the candlesticks are moving in. Do you guys see how at each higher low, here, 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 the exchange rates are increasing? So these are higher lows because the lows are getting higher. The numbers are getting higher. The exchange rates are getting higher. And then you see the highs here, higher high, 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 high. The exchange rates are getting higher. That means that price is increasing. And every time price decreased but kept higher, this is what shows you to buy, okay? Now, at this point in time, while I'm looking at this candle, logic tells me, not emotion, but logic for being a supply and demand trader says, Shaquan, if price stays above 150.791, which this would be this rejection candle, which is right here, I'm going to put a line right there, okay? Now, here's why I'm doing this. There's a direct correlation with price action candlesticks on one higher time frame and a lower time frame, which is the 4-hour. Now, notice how the ranges or of the time frame to the time period are not that far off. It takes 6 4-hour candles to make up the daily time frame. And if I'm looking at the last fluctuation of price, it is going to align with one of my candles on the daily time frame. So if there is a reversal, we need to pass this fluctuation here or the last highest lowest price, which was at 150.791. So I'm going to play this forward and see what happens, okay? Now, technically, if I were trading this for the 4-hour, like I said, I'm looking to see if price will stay above 150.791, which is this candle. So technically, I will be a buyer at this point in time. But because price, watch this, because of how I trade, look how price just went past that number, okay? It went past, and let me move this over so you guys can see, 1.791. So this means that I am now the seller. I am no longer interested in buying, okay? So what I am going to do is now I'm going to stop looking at sales. I was looking at buys and start questioning myself for sales. Okay, so we're going to put this together. I'm going to show you guys how I do this, okay? So price just passed 150.791, which means the buyers are no longer in control, okay? I need price now to stay below 152.540, which means I am now looking for a pullback, okay? Back up into 152.540, but I don't want price to touch that number. Instead, and we're gonna zoom in now, because now we have permission to zoom in. Instead, I wanna see if price will pull back, but not pull back to touch this number. And if you're a structure trader, I just play structure on my particular price chart based on supply and demand, based on this candle. I need price to pull back, reject the candle so that I can enter my sell. Okay, so I'm going to look for it on the 4 hour. Now, the question is, where will I sell to? Now, let's look at the cycle here. Okay, if this is a true pullback, all right, if this is a true pullback, price is going up, uptrend. When price pulls back on retracement stage, which will be, it needs to pull back here first, but overall, the next area I want to see price go, remember supply and demand, right? People were just buying pound JPY, or they were buying pound, all right? People who live in Japan were buying pound. But the sellers have come in and said, but we don't see the value of pound going back up to 152.546 right now. Sellers push price down past 150.791. Well, if we wanted to become buyers of pound again, where will we become buyers at? Think about your higher low again, higher high, higher high. We don't want price to pass 147.405, okay? So you got to think ahead. Since we have a reversal on the 4 hour time frame, what would it look like if price were to continue down, but where is that stopping point? Because price can't go down forever. So the cycle we're going to be in is a retracement cycle. Reversal on the 4 hour, retracement on the daily, but it's the same cycle, so we're going to see the same information. Now, I'm not going to play the daily time frame first. I'm going to focus on the 4 hour, then we're going to see how the daily time frame looks caught up, okay? So let's see if we get a pullback. We're not getting a pullback, okay? Still no pullback. So price is just taking off. This is called high volatility. All right. So let's catch up to see how it looks on the 4 hour. I did not have a trade. Okay, so price continued down. She did not pull back for me. She just continued down. That means that I would not have had a trade for those 2 weeks. And actually, it wasn't even a week. This is the 19th. Actually, for that week that price was moving down. Look at that. She just pushed down. However, that's okay with me because she pushed down really quick, which gave me another opportunity. So now what I'm going to focus on is my buy zone, which is right here. Now, let's bring this back together, okay? Price was going to the upside. And as price was going to the upside, we made a higher high at 152.54s. Price was able to stay below that number. Now, with the way that I trade, I was not able to enter a trade because she did not pull back deep enough. Now, some of you guys may say, oh, Shaquan, you could have did this, you could have did that, you could have applied this. Remember, you may look at it with how you trade. I'm looking at this with how I trade. The goal is not to be a winner on every trade, even though you want to. The goal is not to get into every trade, even though you will want to. The goal is to trade how you trade and what you see. No trading opportunity for you means you don't lose money, but it also means you're following your rules. I would rather follow my rules and not enter a trade than to not follow my rules and enter a trade and potentially lose the trade. So I always want you guys to remember that for yourselves as well. You rather follow your rules and sit on your hands than not follow your rules and lose money and then say, man, I should have followed my rules. You see where I'm going? But now that price is back at my zone, now I have a potential opportunity. So let's look at it. Okay, I'm going to erase the zone from the top because now I'm looking to potentially continue to trade to the upside. So because price made a higher high at 152.54, I want price to stay above 147.40. Think of supply and demand like this. Let's say that you were buying a pair of shoes and you said that the high price was at 152.54. But now price has pulled back to $149. Even though it's $3 cheaper, when would you rather buy the shoes? At 152 or around 149 but staying above 147? I am going to buy at 147 or above 147, around 149ish area, somewhere within my zone. So I typically enter on daily time frames, okay? Now this would have been the exception because price had actually went to the downside and it was still pushing up at this time. So we needed more evidence to enter on the 4 hour. Now I want to see what my next candle is going to be like on the daily before I enter. Okay, so we have a rejection candle. And the way I know that is it's a hammer. The wick is lower on the bottom than it is on the top, and the candle body is more towards the top. So that is a hammer. Now, you may call it another name. You may call it a pin bar, shooting star, morning star, evening star. I don't know them stars' names. I'm just going to call it a hammer, okay? Rejection candle category. They all fit in that one category. All right, now I can decide to go ahead and enter the trade if I'm being aggressive, or I can decide to be conservative and wait for the next candle. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and enter the trade, and I'm going to use fibs because I love Fibonacci. And my first take profit, and let me actually do this without it. So let's just go ahead and do the first take profit now without the Fibonacci. Show you guys why I'm doing this here. Because remember, I'm entry focused too, but I'm more so focused on the trend. This is going to be called a trend continuation trade. I am trading back up to the higher high, okay? Because I believe that I'm buying at a discounted price, and I believe that price can actually push past 152.54 because we're in the uptrend. When we say that price is in a particular trend, we're calling out what the trend is. Uptrend means price can pass the higher high. Downtrend means price can pass the lower low. But you want to be in trades to buy or sell to those, okay? So this is my first take profit, and I'm going to test my second take profit, okay? So I'm going to use a Fibonacci. And I love fibs because this is how I get my stop losses versus trying to pick a number or place to place them. Okay, so we're rejecting the, let me get this on here. You got to get it on there accurately. And notice how I placed my fib last and what I just said. I'm only really using my fib for stop loss and then a second potential take profit area. So I'm going to put it to the 0 or the low. Okay, second profit to the -27. All right, so I have my 2 take profits, okay? So let's play this out. I'm gonna play some more on the 4 hour to catch it up to where price is at 148. All right, so I think it's played up enough. And then we're gonna see what the next candle is going to be. Okay, now I'm in profit. So, which is really good to be back in profit. Okay, so I'm going to play the daily, the 4 hour forward. Let's play that forward. Okay, to get up to date as well. And we are up to date. Okay, so as you guys can see, I am in profit from entering on the daily time frame. So let's talk about this. Let's look at my risk to reward on this trade. My risk to reward on the first trade will be 2.72. I'm risking 138 pips to gain 377. So that means that I can double my profit. The second trade, I am taking this 3.74 risk to reward, which means I'm risking is close with 137, 138 pips to gain 514 pips. I know that there is a big myth that if you enter on the daily time frame, your stop loss is below, you got your high, the losses is higher, yada yada yada. But if you have a bigger account, then you really wouldn't worry, because if I'm trading with 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, I'm still going to make more than what I risk, and I'm fine. I like higher time frame trading because the confirmation is actually a little bit better, in my humble opinion. And then what I've noticed about higher time frame trading is that most people will say, well, I'll wait for a retest on the lower time frame. But there are times when price will not retest. You guys saw it right here when price did not retest. And I don't know if it's going to retest here where I've entered, but let's go ahead and let's see on the 4 hour time frame. Okay, so at this point in time, price does not look like it's pulling back, but watch what I'm about to do, you guys. Okay, I am not looking for sales. I'm going to look for continued buys. Now, the one thing that I've noticed, I'm going to play this forward so I can catch up to where we are, which is probably around the same area. Yep, 150, 170, 150, 170. One thing that I've noticed that price is now doing is trending to the upside and continuously on the 4 hour. So you see how the next day price is bullish, the next day here price is bullish. You see how we got this doji? That is because we're right here. If anyone tells you that price trends differently on any time frame, they're incorrect. And I'm praying that you guys can see why I'm saying that. As I'm playing out the 4 hour time frame, notice how the candles look on the daily time frame. Are both time frames going up? Yes or no? The answer should be yes. Are both time frames doing the same thing at the same time? Always yes. It just depends on when you drop down in time frames. You're just going to see different fluctuations, but price is still doing the same thing. You just see the smaller increments of movement on a lower time frame, okay? But watch what happens here. So I want to see if I can get into another position, but this one's going to be quicker, okay? So 4 hour, 4 hour. And what I want to see is now, listen to how I'm still doing the same technique, you guys. What I would like to see is, can price stay above 150.576 to come back up to the 4 hour high, which would be the top of this doji. Remember how I was just telling you guys about the wicks of candlesticks, just like how we were back over here. It's the same thing. The top wick of this candlestick is the doji, okay? So let's see. We have a doji candlestick before price came in wicked off of it. I want to see if I can get a confirmation. All right, so we have a bullish engulf. I'm going to zoom in so that you guys can see what's going on here. All right, we have a bullish engulfing candlestick. This candle is bigger than this candlestick, or you can say it's a spinning bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter a trade. Okay, I only want this to show on my 4 hour time frame. Okay, this is another reason why I love trading with you. Look how easy that was to take the Fibonacci off the daily and just have it on my 4 hour, right? Very, very simple and easy. So I'm going to enter my first position and I'm going to set my stop loss. All right, so first position will be 1.41 risk to reward. I will be risking 40 pips for 56 pips. Second position, I'm risking 40 pips to gain 90 is 2.25%. Now, you guys may be asking if I focus on like risk to reward, so like 1-to-1, 1-to-2, 1-to-3. I honestly don't. Listen, as long as that trade is above a 1-to-1, that's money. That's how I feel about it, right? I don't sit here and try to control what price is giving me. I can't control that price had a fluctuation from 151 coming up from 150.576. I cannot control that. But what I do know is with this type of position, this is what's called a narrow market or a narrow market condition, where price did not have a steep pullback and she's fluctuating very tightly. So let's see if I can win it. Okay, first take profit, hit. Second take profit, hit. Bam, in the money. And I could have entered again here. You guys see price did go up and make another higher high. And let's do this like this. Price came back, made another high. Let me get rid of this field. And that would have been another trade right there, back up to the upside. But didn't take it. It's fine. Going fast fingers. Okay. But look at that, y'all. Look how beautiful that trade was. And also another thing that I notice when I'm trading too sometimes is the days I'm entering trades and how long they take. Okay. So that part is very important too. But textbook. Notice how even when I'm on a 4 hour trading, I'm still doing the same thing that I'm doing on my daily. When it comes to back testing, the goal is not to change your strategy all the time. The goal is not to use multiple things. I'm only using one zone, as you guys can see. It's my supply and demand zone, and then Fibonacci. That is all I'm using. I'm not using anything that's going to confuse me. I'm not using any patterns. I have not dropped down in time frames. And this is literally the way I trade. Okay, so very simple. So let's see here. Did price pass the high on my other time frame? Nope. So let's see what's going to happen here. All right, there we go. So now we're past the high. Okay, and now we're caught up. So price is still going, as you guys can see. And we did pass the low. I'm sorry, the higher high. So let's see what's going to happen on the daily. All right, so we're not at the high yet, but first take profit has been given on the daily. So that was a really, really good trade for the daily time frame. And how many pips did I win? I won around 374 pips on that. Okay, cool. So at this point in time, this would be our new higher low. Okay. The reason why this is our new higher low is because now that we have a new higher high, that means that the buyers are back in control. All right. So now at this point, and I can see that price has made a rejection candle, if that's how the closure is really going to look. Now I'm about to do the same thing that we did in the previous trade, okay? Just like these trades here. What I'm looking for now is where can price potentially go? That's what I'm looking for, okay? So let's get this caught up. All right, we can still see that on the 4-hour, because I don't think we're done. On the 4-hour, price is still trending to the upside, okay? Let's catch this up here. Yep, she still got some push in her. Y'all see how I'm still doing the same thing, tracking the results? So higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Price is, she's still moving up. Then she's ranging just a little bit, but she's still pushing up. See, and then price passes the low there. Okay, so higher low, and then price passes it, and I think we're almost caught up. All right, and there's that drop. Okay, so now we're at the same point. Now, at this point in time, because we have a doji bearish engulfing candle, I could look for a sell back to the downside, which I am very well in my right. And if I do, once again, the question is, where can price sell off to? Now, you guys probably saw me draw this. You guys saw me draw this zone back here. And this zone was based on where I entered my trade at. But at the same time, to remind me, Shaquan, if price comes back to that zone again, you're going to enter there. Now, do you guys see that when I draw that zone, I did the zone way before I knew what price was going to do? And that is one thing that I love teaching traders, is set yourself up for your next trade and your last trade. And, you know, most traders, you know, like, let's just say you're a support and resistance trader. You're setting yourself up for what happened to the left. I set my trades up as I enter, okay? So if I enter at a certain point, I'm going to use that same position to enter again in the future. That way I don't have to come back and update my chart. That way I don't have to come back to reanalyze my price chart, okay? And that's exactly what I did here. So now I want to see if price can stay below this high, potential high, because watch how I bring this together, okay? Number one, on the 4-hour time frame, price made a lower low. We went past the last higher low at 152.892. So we need to see if price can stay below the high around 153.42s, but we need a pullback, especially if you're a counter trend trader. So if price does continue down, this is not a downtrend. I need to make that clear. This is a pullback, a retracement against the uptrend, okay? Where's the next place price can go? I would like to see it stay above 148.49. Think about supply and demand again. Would you rather buy shoes at 153 or back around 149s above 148s? Because as you guys can see, price keeps increasing, but we want to buy at discounts. So you can sell if you're a counter trend trader, but remember, there's a stopping point, okay? So let's see what happens. Do we get a pullback here? No. So my zone is all the way down here. So, okay, we still got room to grow. So let's see what's going to happen. This is his high volatility. She's just pushing down. So me as a swing trader, I do not have a position. Yeah, she's just going down. Now she's ranging. Let's just play her forward. All right, so we've touched the zone, which is here. I'm going to play it forward on my daily. Look at that. Okay, so we have a touch here. So now that price has bounced off of my zone, I am going to enter her. Now, I know you guys are saying, well, Shaquan, price almost came to your zone after these 5 candlesticks. But you guys, I don't want to take a trade unless price touches that zone. Like, I'm a real stickler for price literally touching my zone. Like, it needs to touch. I don't care about almost rules. She needs to touch. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and buy her off of the daily. And I still have this position on. Okay, so we're back at the high here for 284 pips. And I want to see where I'm going to put my stop loss. One quick second. So I'm going to put it back to the 100. So my risk reward on this particular trade is I'm risking 202 pips for 284 pips. And then I can enter again if I want. So let's go ahead and do it. So I'm risking 202 pips for 416 pips. So I'm doubling my profit, okay? Or my risk. So that's good too. And so we're good to go now. I'm going to take this fib off so I can see. Okay. It's not really a wick there, so we're gonna do it this way. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and play it forward on the 4 hours to catch it up. Now let's see what's going on here. I'm in profit, which is good. Okay, I'm in drawdown. Okay, that's fine. All right, so I can see that price is back at my zone. And she's even, look at this, she's even went past the low here, which is fine. That's why we have stop losses for reasons. All right, now, at this point in time, let me ask you guys a question. Would you be concerned here that price is pushing down and it's still at the zone, but she's pushed down past the entry? You see red on 2 positions. You're like, oh my God, I'm gonna get stopped out. Oh my God, I'm gonna get stopped out. Like, what you thinking? Are you upset? What's your feelings? Like, are you nervous? Are you monitoring the trade? Are you babysitting every candlestick? What's going on? All right. It's a long drawdown. It's a few days. Let's see. And let's catch it up to the daily. We're in profit. Now look at that. All right. So let's see what's going on. We're back in green. That's good. All right. There we go. Okay. So now look at this. All right. So we can see that price did make a new high on the 4 hour, which was this wick right here. And then she ended up coming back down to our zone. Now, remember what I just said, you guys. We need price to stay above 148.491, which means your structure is above that number. My structure is above that number. It doesn't matter that price, even if price was to go below that zone, that doesn't mean to sell. In trading, supply and demand is a number. It's your exchange rate. It's the price, not your structure. Okay, so I need you guys to remember that. Like, you ever like traded at a structure and then price goes past it, and then you change your bias just for price to go the direct way that you had it originally? If you change your bias based on structure, you're doing yourself a disservice. You have to trade based on price. Okay, that's why using these tools like the price note tool to see exact numbers this way is very, very helpful. So let's catch the daily time frame up to where we are now. Okay, so we're here now, as you guys can see. I need to catch this up just a little bit more. Okay, and let's just play this for a little bit more. I need to see what's really going on. All right, so I can see like right here in this area on the 4 hour time frame, like if I were to put my price notes tools, they will be everywhere. And so I wouldn't like the guidance of the 4 hours to trade. I would think that the daily would be a little bit better to follow, in my humble opinion, which is why I like entering on daily time frames. Okay. So I can see that we have a higher high on the 4 hour because we had one here, but then price went down and went lower. But like I said, look at this. So, you know, it consolidated for a little bit, then pushed up off the zone, which is good, pushed down, now it's going back up. So that puts us back in profit. But I would like to see how the 4 hour is going to continue to go before I try to enter into another position. So let's see what's going to happen. Oh, look at that, y'all. I'm still not interested. Okay, now I'm interested in the 4 hour because now that price pushed higher on the 4 hour, now I can say, oh, okay, you made a new high. You went higher than 152.405, but you ranged here for just a little bit. So this is something that, you know, for that week or so, I would not have traded because it just would not have been in my favor. And if I tried to trade any of this, more than likely I'm stopped out. So that is what I'm saying. Like, you have to know when to sit on your hands. And then if you guys notice and look, we hit profits. Okay. So profit was taken on this. So we hit another profit, which is really, really good. Price is still trending to the upside, as you guys can see. And let's see if she's going to pull back or just continue to go up. All right, so she's continuing up. As we can see right here, Doji is this here. All right, so she has high volatility, which means she's just up. She's not really doing any deep pullbacks right now, and that is fine. Let's see if she'll stay above here, above this high at 153. Let's see what she does. If she stays, we can buy her. See what the next candle is going to be. It's a doji. I don't like it. Inverted hammer. Okay, let's see if we buy, if we can win a trade on the 4 hour, because we have a new high. And let's see if she'll go past that high right there. Right here at 154. See how I keep doing the same thing, you guys? I'm not doing anything different. I'm still trailing my numbers. This is literally supply and demand. Price is increasing to the upside. The buyers have control. They're pushing price up. People are buying the pound. The people in Japan need the pound. Okay. First TP, we could take it. You get a 1 to 1.12. As long as it's above a 1, you trade your rules how you would trade it. If this is something that you would sit out on, 1.76 in the next one, because you say that, nah, I need a 1 and 2 and 3, you have every right to do so. Take profits got hit, and original take profit got hit for the last trade. Boom. Y'all, that's good back testing right there. Okay? I don't think I lost a trade. Did I lose one? I don't know. I don't think I lost one. But y'all, this is really great back testing, you guys, on the fly at 11 o'clock at night. It's now 11:36. Okay? 36 minutes in. I'm really proud of myself, you guys. I'm proud of myself. All right. Did y'all enjoy this? If y'all enjoyed this, let me know if y'all enjoyed this, okay? If you say, Shaquan, I like your style of trading, yo. Like, I really want to trade alongside with you, and I really want to learn. You guys, book a consultation with me. Book some one-on-one time with me. I teach you how to do this literally 6 weeks. Takes me 2 to 3 weeks to teach you how to trade this way. The next 3 weeks, we're working on your trading plan. We're working on your portfolio, which is your watch list, and we're working on how to choose the currency pairs you're going to trade for that week. Okay. So if that's you, free consultation with me so I can, see where you're at with your trading, see what type of help that you need, and see if we're good to work together one-on-one, because that's a lot of work to be doing for 6 weeks, okay? Anyway, if you guys like this, thumbs up, share it, let us know what you guys thought about it if you want me to keep doing these on a weekly basis, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. You guys gonna be blessed.